change. They want me to change, but I ain't changing. Nah, I remain the same.
And you are now tuned into another episode of Intellectually Petty Radio, brought to you by M3S3 Clothing. Men make moves and suckers stand still. And as always, on the mighty Nerve DJs Radio Network. And come on, man. It's a special Sunday edition. Usually I'm on my neck watching football, but Drunken Master is in the building. I don't really need to say anything else because if you don't know who Drunken Master is, you need to go home and really hit the hip hop research button ASAP. What's good, bro? What up, dog?
Oh man, what's up, family? Salute, how you, man?
Oh man, I'm doing great, man. You know,
Brother, hey, I'm just happy to be here and proud to be on your platform, and I know we got a lot to unpack, man. So,
oh my God,
and I'm
yo,
totally transparent. I know it's a lot to, and we, it's a lot to talk about, man. So, I'm just happy
nigga,
to be here.
you
Happy
done
to be
seen the
free.
highs
Yeah.
and lows, bro.
Huh?
I said you have seen the highs and lows of life and the
Absolutely.
music industry.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's been a lot. It's a lot to unpack. You know what I mean?
All right, so where we want to start, man? As far as musically, how'd you get in the game? Like, how did you start DJing first?
Oh man, let's see. How did I start DJing? When I started DJing, back in the early '80s, in the '80s, I used to roller skate real heavy, and me and my partners, we had a little crew. We used to do shows, Detroit, Chicago, all over the place. We used to do shows, and I was a floor guard at a skating rink here at Skateland, and no, at a place called the Arcade on it was a skating rink on the east side in Detroit. And hip hop happened, man. And I went and saw Grandmaster Flash DJing. And I was overwhelmed, and I ran back to the skating rink, and I asked the DJ, my man Fantastic Van, Salute Van, I asked him to show me how that shit worked. I said, man, he had the turntable in his hand, and he was scratching it. They didn't know what the hell I was talking about. I was just talking about what I saw Grandmaster Flash do. You feel me?
Right.
And he taught me how to work. This is the crossfader. This is the two turntables. And then brother was like, I said, I gotta learn this shit. So he said, I'm gonna go to. I was what they call a bathroom DJ. Like he was like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm gonna go take a piss. Don't tear up nothing. You feel me? So I'm up there trying to learn. And then I was so dedicated that I wanted to learn. He said, I got some turntables in my basement at my house. And he said, I work midnights at the plant, but you can come over in the morning, just don't make too much noise and practice in my basement. And I would get up at 7 a.m., man, to catch the bus to Dual House and just try to hone my skills. And then thanks, like I said, Fantastic Van and my man DJ Tony Rome, they taught me mic presence on how to rock a crowd when it comes to DJing and how to incorporate the MCing into being a DJ. And I just took it, put my hip hop twist on it, and the shit just elevated. And I went from there to DJing after hour spots. And then when the hip hop happened, I really got into it. My man Maserati Rick, rested dead. I used to hang out with him. I was one of his little dogs, and he sent his brother Clyde over my house to pick me up and take me to Demetrius Holloway brother Glenn Cannon to his studio. I started just working on cooking up beats, and I want to do everything hip hop, everything but breakdance. Real.
Yo,
Yeah.
wait a minute, Maserati Rick though, bro?
Yeah. Rick gave me my start. I mean, all the homies was hustling, and I wanted to be a rapper, man. I wanted to, LL and the Beastie Boys and Run DMC and Rakim and all them cats was out. And I was just overwhelmed with the art form of hip hop, man. So I wanted to do that. You know what I mean? And so he was like, well, I'm gonna have my brother come pick you up. Rick brother Clyde came and picked me up and took me to the studio. And they were like, get that man whatever he needs. Make sure he good. And I had free studio time. You know what I mean? It's a lot of layers to it because when I really started doing that, my man Rakim, Eric B used to come up here a lot. And I was listening to everything hip hop. And Rakim said in one of his records, I put it on tape, and in the city I tested. Then on the radio, the odds requested on one of his records. And I considered that to be the blueprint. So when I went to the little studio and started making my little tapes, every dude with a nice car, I would just give him a tape. I would give him a tape. It wasn't me DJing, it was me rapping. You feel me?
Okay.
And then this one guy, he stopped. He said, "Man, I got a little studio. Why don't you come over to the studio and check us out?" Now, I'm DJing. Now I got my skill set together, DJing, rapping. I was a little multifaceted. So I go over to this little shady ass after hour spot where they was at. And he had an artist that I met him, dude named Herb Ski back in the day. Met
Okay.
Herb. And before you know it, 2 weeks later, they had me in California. You know what I mean? Opening for Slick Rick with them. I'm DJing behind them, and you know what I mean? And I was just trying to get on any way I could. And it just escalated from there. You know, I was doing anything hip hop, bro.
And you grew up on the east side, right?
Be a part of it.
You grew up on the east side?
Like when I remember remember they had the newspaper, you know, they didn't have the internet back then. They had all the little Friday newspaper sections.
Yeah.
Where you could see what's going on in the city that weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, this one weekend they had the African World Festival downtown. And the last closing artist, it said Africa Bambaataa and Shango. And I lost my mind. I said, "Oh my God, that's the Zulu Nation." I caught my homeboy, and he said, "Man, what you talking about?" I said, "Nigga, we went downtown, man. We down there and shit." And Bam and the Zulu Nation and Soul Sonic Fourth Minutes came out looking for the perfect beat, dressed like the goddamn village people. And I was like, oh, I was just going crazy. I was just hip hop, man. That shit saved my life, you know what I mean? Because it really kept me from diving head first into the dope game, because I was around a lot of major players back in the 80s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So hip hop, you know, I wasn't even Drunken Master yet. I had about three name changes before all of that shit.
Okay, so what was the first name?
But yeah, you know what I mean? And it went from there to trying to go to these music conventions and saving up my money. And from there, that's how I ended up meeting my man Suge Knight. And me and him became friends, and we still friends to this day. 30-year friendship, you know what I mean? And I met him at the music convention called Jack the Rapper. And me and him chopped it up for a couple of years. Before you know it, he's like, "Nigga, come on out to California," and that's how. But we'll get to all of that. But go ahead, brother. I'm you know, you can keep shooting.
Nigga, don't.
Down. Go ahead.
Matter of fact, hold on. Let me do one thing. I'm gonna turn this heat off, so I want to make sure that we can hear you clearly.
Absolutely.
Because this is perfect, bro.
Thank you, bro.
All right, bro. My bad.
Yeah.
So what? You grew up on the east side?
Yes, sir.
Where about?
Cadillac and Shoemaker.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No
Right
wonder.
down in Chandler Park.
Yo, you remember that the after hours? It was on Van Dyke. I take that back. It was on Gratiot, not too far from Van Dyke.
Yeah, it's a DJ there called the Gents.
Yo, I remember. Matter of fact, me, my cousin Villica, her sister.
Yeah, she used to hang out in there. Yeah.
Nigga, we got caught in that bitch
the
one
last
time.
place that I saw her was in there.
Whoa, yo, we got caught in that motherfucker one time. This nigga shooting dice.
Was she pregnant?
I think she was. When niggas start shooting.
Look, that was me with her. We went in the basement.
Oh, nigga.
That was me.
Yo.
The police came in there, man. They sledgehammered my equipment. They were doing all kind of crazy shit. That was me, yeah. See how funny how the universe is? That was me, brother.
That was a wild ass motherfucking night.
She was pregnant, man. We ran in the basement. Ankle deep water. Police ran in there and shit, man. They took all my shit.
Yo, that's
I was the DJ. I was DJing in there.
That's wild, nigga. That's
See,
so
ain't
wild.
that crazy, man?
That's so crazy. All right, so
And
let's
I was I used to be in love with your cousin, man. I used to be in love with her, uh I wasn't ready. You feel me? And
yeah,
she was non-negotiable. So whatever she doing, salute. Good,
yeah,
you know. Yeah.
yeah. She good people, man. Good
Yeah,
people, man.
she's still beautiful from what I see. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so let's go back. Let's go back a little bit. All right,
Okay,
so
okay.
let's fast forward to 50 niggas deep.
Oh man, it's so much. But let me say this:
Okay.
you missing out on a whole lot. You know,
What you start where you want to start.
because look, let me tell you, the 50 niggas deep was after Death Row. That was
Oh,
way
oh,
after
oh,
the.
oh, yeah.
So we
Let's
go
go
to the.
back.
You got to go to the East West conflict. You got to go to Death Row. You got to go to the strip clubs, the titty bar DJing, and all of the birth of the Drunken Master. You know what I mean? It's a lot that's you missing out. But go ahead, brother. I'm just
No,
answering questions.
no, bro. You driving this motherfucking ship, bro.
Oh man, look.
So we gonna go back and
Okay.
you start where you want to start, and I'm just gonna listen
All right.
because I need this hip hop tutorial.
Okay, so this is where we was at. Okay, so after hour spots. I'm DJing in after hour spots. I'm talking about like uh the places like the 19th hole on Shane and Garfield. You mean I'm saying like places the shadiest of the shadiest after hour spots. I'm DJing in there. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to make my way and give me a couple dollars in my pocket and stay out the dope game. You feel me? So um so Rick, I think Ricky got killed, and a lot of people had started going to prison and this that and the other. So I just started focusing on hip hop. So while I'm in the after hour spots, this one time, a brother, um, he was like, "Well, I'm gonna come pick you up and go. Let's go hang out." And we end up. He took me on the west side, and see, I come from a segregated area over here through the gang banging and all that. Like I lived on Cadillac and Shoemaker. But if you take me across Gratiot on Gratiot to Harper, I would be lost to this day because that was the chains in the neighborhood, and we couldn't go over there. So to
Okay,
this day I get lost 6 blocks away from my house because that's how confined my neighborhood was. You feel me? Back in the PK and Earl Flynn days.
got you.
Anyway, dude come pick me up and he take me to the Brass Key, living on Tommy. Never heard of the place. You know what I mean? I've been to a couple of titty bars, but you know what I mean? So I'm used to the after hour spots where the gambling going on and the dope and everything is around you. You feel me? So we go to the legitimate strip club, the Brass Key. And I go in there, and it just so happened on this night, the DJ got fired. It was a big party going on. You know what I mean? And um, the DJ had got fired that night. So the guy I was with knew the owner. And he like, "Hey man, why don't you go holler at Sherman?" Rest he did. "Why don't you go holler at Sherman, tell him you DJ." So I walked over to the brother. I said, "Man, you need a DJ?" And he played me like I was less than him. I get the fuck on, man. You know, la 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 la. And I'm like, damn, okay. Okay. He was abrasive when he talked to me. I said, okay, I ain't tripping. So I went on back and sat down. And my man was like, "Nah, man, why don't you go holler at Ben Crosby?" He's like my godfather. You feel me? Ben, he managed the Dramatics. He managed Al Green. He ran the High Chaparral. Crystal Palace was his club. He owned that building. Major hitter. He said, "Go tell." He said, "Call Ben." So I called Ben the next day, and Ben said, "You mean no punk ass Sherman, man? Fuck that, man. Go on over there the next day, man, and take your shit and go to work, nigga." I say so. He was a gangster. You feel me? So the next day, I show up at the Brass Key, and Sherman, the owner of the key, stops me and say, "You had a bad motherfucker call me, man. You're hired. Whatever you need." So now I'm DJing at the Brass Key. Now here's the thing. In like this 91, 92, you couldn't play no hip hop in the Brass Key. It was all booty shake music, all dance music. You feel
Yeah,
me?
yeah.
No, no hip hop, no rap. So I eased that shit into the program before you know it. The Brass Key turned into a major hip hop spot. So while I'm doing that, now everybody buying me drinks, the club starting to pop. Monday night became a mainstay, and everybody doing what they do. You know what I mean? And this one dude was like, my man Shannon. He said, because everybody would send me so many drinks, I knocked the drinks down, started drinking them, throwing them shits back, and the party going up, and everybody, it's like the drunker I got, the higher I got, the better the party was. So he said, my man Shannon, he said, man, you the drunken master in real life, nigga. And I said, that's a dope ass name. Plus, when I was a kid, I used to train in Kung Fu. Like when back in the days when they started Kung Fu movies downtown at the movie theaters.
Oh, yes.
At the Adams and the Madison.
Oh.
In between the movies, me and my crew would do weapons exhibitions and shit like that. I was really into that shit, man. So Drunken Master just fit me. And then there's one thing, there's a thing, a lot of people don't know out there in the world, but there's a thing called, you know what the Muse is, right? M-U-S-A? M-U-S-E, Muse.
Yes. Yeah.
But y'all that don't know, a muse is a person that comes into your life and all they do is inspire you to do something else. You feel me? So while I'm DJing and the club popping, this one chick, I take a trip to New York because I go to New York a lot. I was going back and forth to New York, and I was so into the hip hop culture. I'm trying to go to the Mecca and see what's going on out there. So I would go out there, and when I went out there, I noticed that DJs had mixtapes all over the place, right? Mm-hmm. So I would go there and see DJ Tony Touch tapes, my man DJ Doo-Wop, Ron G, Kid Capri, all these tapes. And I would go in the record stores trying to find new music to bring back to Detroit. And I see these niggas tapes all over the place. So this friend of mine, this chick I know named Kelly, she hung out with me. She went to New York with me. And the whole time, she's inspiring me, trying to push me to do mixtapes. She was like, I mean, we would be doing everything, and in the middle of all that, she in my ear like, you should do mixtapes. You should do this. You can really do it. You're better than them. You're so exciting. You la la la. She was just really just pushing me the whole time. You know what I mean? And we go to the record shop, and we looking at the tapes, and she said, I can even type up your inserts, and you can do it. Let's go back to the city. And when you go back to Detroit, you should do one. And so people would ask me, a couple of people would ask me for tapes, but I would just shoot them a tape, a personal joint, but not a whole. Yeah. Series, you feel me? So
I got you.
Like my first tape I ever made, Maserati Rick paid me $50. Like, make me a tape. You feel me? So, I get back to the city and I drop the tape, and I go to Tanya Records over on the east side. Used to be on Gratiot and Harper.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
I would go in. I went in there with a tape, and I said, I got these things called mixtapes. You got all exclusive shit. I'm hosting it. I'm talking shit. I'm shouting everybody out. It's something different. And my man Hank, he said, man, get that shit out here, man, before we all go to fucking jail, man. Go on with that shit. And I leave. And I said, okay. So I go around to Chantanese, Barry and Josie. I go to Chantanese. I said, look, I got these things called mixtapes. And she like, they like, Barry said, what's that? I said, it's just a 90-minute tape, all exclusive music. You got artists on there. You got freestyle stuff that's real, just exclusive shit. And I said, all you gotta do is play it over the loudspeaker in the store. Everybody gonna buy it. And he said, well, how you want to sell them? I said, I tell you what. I said, we can make money. I sell them to you for $5. You sell them to the streets for $10, and we can make some money. And he said, okay, he said, I'm gonna give you a shot. I'll give you. He said, give me 5 of them. And he gave me $25. I was like, okay. Now I only had 10 in my possession anyway. Next day he called me. He said, this shit's gone. Can I get 10? I said, oh shit, let me start pressing them up. These cassettes now.
Right.
So I started doing those. 10 turned into 20. 20 turned into I need 100. I need this. I need 200. The next thing you know, now I got 2 or 3 different tapes out. I got a slow jam tape out. I got a booty shake tape out. But the hip hop was my mainstay. And me and my crew, you know, the little homies on the block, I had them to keep them kind of out of trouble. Mm-hmm. I would have them like freestyling at the beginning of the mixtape. My man Bugs and different cats. Hell, Proof would come through, Eminem, and everybody would just come and fuck with it. Me and M got into it because I wouldn't put one of his songs on my mixtape, the Infinite record, the very first one he did. Yeah, we had to squash that, but it wasn't serious. But he was just upset because I didn't put it on the tape. But he didn't physically put it in my hand, and that's how DJ is supposed to work. You give me the song, don't send it to me.
Right.
So anyway, we start banging the mixtapes out. And before you know it, every car that I ride in the street, riding around, bumping my shit. I said, oh shit, this shit starting to take off. So while I'm doing that, plus I'm DJing at the Brass Key, so on Monday night, I'm popping them off up there. And now I got the West Side, East Side, I got everybody banging Drunken Master mixtapes. You feel me? But I'm still trying to get on in the music industry. So I'm saving up, and then comes Jack the Rapper. That's a big convention that they had in
Back in the
Atlanta
day.
every year, every summer, family affair. So I went down. I've been down there for like a couple of years, trying to get Russell Simmons to hear my little punk ass rap mixtapes. I mean, my little demos. I'm trying to get on. You know what I mean? And I see Hammer, and I see the Fresh Prince, Run DMC, and everybody walking around rich, looking up, and every rapper in the world is there. And I'm like, oh, this is the place to be. You know what I mean? So I go in there, and every year I'm trying to get niggas to hear get my tapes to Russell. I want to be on Def Jam, and I'm trying to but every year I would go down there, I would see this big muscle bomb nigga down there, bodyguard and whatever he was doing, and we would just chop it up on some street shit. Every time I see him, what's up, big dog? What's up, homie? You good? I see you this year. I see you back out here. You want to brew or something? We go sit down and have a quick drink, woo woo. Not knowing the whole time that's Suge Knight. You feel me? So, this one particular year, I said, man, I ain't taking no demos down there. I ain't trying to get nobody to. I'm just going down to the party and ho hop and catch me a little bad bitch somewhere. You feel me? I'm going to all the parties. You know what I mean? So, I'm down there and I'm chopping up. I met Guru. Me and Guru got cool. We sitting there drinking and talking. And you look over the corner and they go Wyclef sitting there playing the guitar, trying to get on just before they was famous. Mm-hmm. And Charlie Wilson, I really salute Charlie Wilson because he was so fiended out. It was sad to see, man. You know what I mean? In the lobby of the hotel, he would run around and people say, man, get the fuck away from me. It was like that. So I'm really proud of Charlie Wilson's progression, you know what I mean? Because he didn't overcame them demons, you feel me?
Yeah.
But the Jack the Rapper experience was so crazy because I mean one time I went in the bar. We have a drink. And it was a white lady sitting there playing the piano. Now mind you, this is when hip hop had basically went mainstream.
Right.
You feel me? So I go in the bar, and this white lady sitting there playing the piano, singing, and I look over, and this goddamn Tina Marie, and nobody's paying her no attention. She's sitting there playing Deja Vu. I've been here before. It was the most beautiful thing I ever heard. I'm sitting there, she's just blowing that shit, and ain't nobody paying her no mind because everybody was more focused on the rap. You feel me?
Right.
So I'm like, damn, this R&B shit falling off. So every year I would see Big Dog, you know what I mean? Me and him, we chop it up. What's up, bro? Not knowing. So this one year, and I never get to this. This is really the launch of my entire new version of my career because when this one year I'm in the lobby. Everybody hang out in the lobby and shit. All the rappers, all the singers, everybody there, and they're just vibing out. And this one dude, I overheard him complaining. He was like, "Yeah, man, DJ Red Alert missed his plane, and I ain't got nobody to host this goddamn show, and it's all fucked up. I got this chick up in the room, and and I'm ear hustling." So I walk over and I say, "Hey, bro," and mind you, this is the time I had the jealousy boots on and the motherfucking cross colors. I was looking like nigga, I looked like a whole clown. Yeah. So I walk over to bro, and I'm like, "Hey, man, you need somebody to host the show, man. I mean, you know, my name Dre, man. They call me Drunken Master. I do it." He said, "Hey, come with me." And he just walked me in the room. And now I'm in the big room. It's probably 1,000 people in this room sitting around, all these execs, everybody. It was Warner, Elektra, and Atlantic. It was their luncheon. And anybody's there. You feel me? And he said, "Go up on the stage and welcome them to this family affair, blah, blah, blah." So I go up there and do my thing. And he said, "Man, thank you. I appreciate you." And he said, "You know any comedians that can stall for like 10 minutes?" And I saw Sinbad, everybody walking around. And I'm like, there's one guy named Michael Collier. You know him?
Oh, yeah.
He was walking around just cracking jokes. He had just won Star Search. He was walking around fucking with people. So I pulled him up on stage. I said, bro, can you do 10 minutes? And he said, hell yeah. He went up there and killed it. You feel me? And this was Robert Harris, Baby Kids, all this shit was just coming out. I think Robert might have just passed. But so now, my man said, good looking out on hosting this show. He said, you come with me, you want something to eat? And I'm like, yeah. So we go to another bar room. And I forgot the name of the company. But the hottest record in the country at that time was It's Our Anniversary by Tony. Okay. I don't know what year that was, 93, 92. So we go backstage, and Tony's on stage performing. Shit's huge. And they got this big-ass buffet back there. And he said, man, get you something to eat, dog. And I broke his hell, so I said, shit, I started give me some chicken, I'm eating. And all of a sudden, this one dude came out there, excuse me, who the fuck are y'all? Y'all can't be back here. That's Tony's food. And I just sat there, I'm shit, nigga, I'm still eating, I don't care. And brother that was with me, he said, well, I'm the entertainment coordinator for this entire convention. And since you being a smart mouth, he said, y'all got 5 minutes, so I'm going to pull the plug. And he grabbed his walkie-talkie, like, give me some security back here. And I'm thinking like, oh, shit, I'm with the boss. I mean, with the boss, this thought he's a, you know what I mean? So next thing you know, my man motioned to Tony, and they instantly cut their show short and went right into It's Our Anniversary. I swear to God, I was like, wow. He said, man, I don't care about none of this raps. These niggas, these motherfuckers be out. He said, I got 2 artists, and if they blow up, I'm going to eat forever. And the group was the 69 Boys and 95 South. That whoop, there it is. That was his group. He said, I don't care about nobody else. So I don't care about that shit. So now while me and dude, he said, you ain't never got to pay to get in this convention again. I'm like, bet I got on. So now I'm sitting there chopping up with him, and we stand in the lobby, and a brother named Kevin Black walks up. You know Kevin Black?
No.
Anyway, Kevin Black was the director. He was basically the director of promotion for Death Row in Interscope. He walks up and he says, I got a message from Suge Knight because the Chronic album wasn't out yet, but Dre Day was out and they was beefing with Luke. Remember?
Yeah.
And he says, I got a message from Death Row and Suge Knight. If they don't do their song, we won't do ours. And my man Barry, his name Barry Dufay, Barry looked at Black and said, well, you got to talk to Drunk, because Drunk running the shit. And he walked away. Barry didn't care about none of that shit. So now Kevin Black comes to me and say, hey, man, you running it? You? And I'm like, yeah. He said, okay. He said, man, hey, can I throw you something to walk on stage with this picket sign that said, coming soon, Snoop Dogg? I'm like, hell yeah. He paid me a little money and shit. Now I'm hosting the whole rapping in, it's called Rapping in the AM. I'm hosting that shit. 30 groups on this one show. Pop, Breathe, Wu-Tang was new, Fat Joe was new, all these artists, and I'm the host of the show. You feel me? And I'm like, damn. So now I'm starting to, in the midst of all the bullshit, somebody said, Suge Knight lost his telephone, lost his cell phone. So everybody looking around for this man's telephone. And it just so happens how the planets line up. This girl that I was down there with found the phone in one of the stalls in the bathroom. And I said, give me that nigga's phone. Who is this Suge Knight nigga everybody talking about? I got his phone. So all the homies, hey man, give me the phone. I said, no, I'm gonna get that man his phone himself. I gotta see who this nigga is, you feel me? And next thing you know, the seas parted, and here comes Suge. And he looked at me and said, man, that's my motherfucking dog. I said, no, that's my motherfucking dog. I'm like, you Suge Knight? And he's like, yeah. He said, man, we got Dr. Dre, we got Snoop Dogg, we woo. And he's like, what you doing? I said, man, I'm hosting this shit, waiting on you to put me on. That nigga gave me his number and said, call me on Tuesday. He said, call me when all this Hollywood shit over. Give me a call, nigga. And I went on back doing what I was doing and shit. And I came back to the crib, back to the brass key, back to DJing. And I looked at him, I said, let me call this nigga. What's up, dog? That nigga said, man, I thought you wasn't gonna call me, nigga. He said, man, come on out here to California, man, to fuck with your man. I said, nigga, I ain't got no money like that to be jet setting with you rich niggas. He said, look, man, I'm going to connect you to my assistant. Send me your name and come on out here. I got you. And then he said, and by the way, bring a bad bitch with you, nigga. See if you got some play about yourself, nigga. Click. and I asked every stripper I knew, every bitch at the club, nobody believed it. I said, look, I need you. come out here with me. I better go fuck with Snoop Dogg. He thought it that, blah. Nobody believed in this. I couldn't get nobody to go, but I got my girl. Her name was Anita. Bless the dead. Anita went out there with me, and you know, and it was a red carpet. He introduced me to the homies. He introduced me to Big J, and before you know it, nigga, I'm a death row inmate. I'm hanging out with the homies, and now I'm working. I'm getting a check, and my life just went through the roof. And then after the East West shit happened, you know what happened after that? Then the 50 niggas deep came. Now where we at, man? Because I know we got a lot more to talk about. This is a crazy story, bro.
The 50 niggas deep. That's where we at.
All right, so now, while I'm on the road with Death Row, while I'm touring, and after the East-West conflict and all the pop shit and all the shit going on, so now, while we on the road, I'm creating relationships along the way. Like we might go to a club in Cleveland or in Alabama or in Tennessee somewhere, and we go to the club and party and throw money around and pop bottles and Death Row in the building and all that shit. But while I'm working these records, I pull the DJ to the side and say, hey man, give me your number, dog. I might come back out here and fuck with y'all on my own. You feel me?
Right.
And, yeah, I got you, big homie. So after bro go to jail, after Suge go to jail, and Death Row kind of collapsed, and all the homies and shit started dying and all the shit. Cause my life was in jeopardy for a minute when it came to all of that. You feel me? And but when you know, when all the shit, when the smoke cleared, I came back and started doing what I was doing on the mixtape side, and then back at the club. And when 50 Niggas Deep popped, it was a mixtape intro. You know, every mixtape I do a freestyle at the beginning of the mixtape just to show the youngsters and the OGs that I still can spit bars. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I dropped a 50 Niggas Deep freestyle at the beginning of one, and then at the end of the other one, at the end of the tape, I would have 50 bitches. I said, these the bitches I like. Them bailed me out of jail, and before you know it, I walk in the club 2-3 weeks later, and the D they playing 50 Niggas Deep, and me, I'm insulted. I'm like, fuck these DJs playing my mixtape. These lazy ass niggas ain't doing shit playing my mixtape. Nigga, play your own shit. That's my mindset. You feel me? So, and they was like, nah, nigga, that record hot. That record can go. And I'm like, that shit? They like, yeah. All right. You know what I mean? So, now I'm getting calls from the radio station. And they like, you got a clean version of that? I'm like, a clean version? I'll get you one. Don't give me a second. You know what I mean? So now I'm trying to find a female to do the bitches part. You know what I mean? It was all me at the beginning. Them bail me out of jail bitches. Them the bitches I like. You feel me? So I go to back to Death Row. I go to the Up in Smoke tour. They come to town. And Corrupt and all the Dog Pound niggas call me, Drunk, we in the city, nigga, come pull up, nigga, we at the Athenium. All right, nigga, I'm on my way. So I get down there. Shout out my man Slim Pickens, by the way. You know what I mean? But I get down to the Up in Smoke. I mean, down to the Athenium, to the hotel. Everybody there. And Suge in prison. You know what I mean? So I Corrupt introduced me to Lola. You know what I mean? And Corrupt, like, she rap. And I'm thinking, because I had the studio session booked, the big studio, I had it booked, because I did the actual 50 Niggas Deep in my basement.
Right.
I had the big studio booked to do the real, to do it, to really record it the right way.
Right.
But I didn't have no artist. I didn't have no girl to do it. I asked my girl Bombshell from here. Remember Bombshell, Corey Blake?
Yeah.
I asked Bombshell. She came and did it, not at the big studio, but in pre-production. And I love Bombshell. Salute her. But nobody knew. But she did it first. You know what I mean? I wrote it. She did the version of it. But it didn't fit my agenda. You know what I mean? With all due respect to her, she was too powerful of an MC. And I needed something delicate.
Yeah.
That's the way I would word that. I needed something delicate. And she was so powerful as an MC. That's an artist. She was an artist. She was the truth. But it just didn't work out. So Corrupt introduced me to Lola. And I'm like, what you doing on Tuesday? And she like, nothing. I said, come to the studio. I got a hit record if you want to be on it. And she said, hell yeah. So she came by, and I'm like, just say what I wrote. Say it. She like, why I gotta say this? I was like, Jay-Z, it doesn't matter. It gets the people going. Just say it. You feel me? Why I gotta say them who you calling bitches? I just say it. That shit is dope. Trust me. You know what I mean? So shout out Lola because she really gave birth. She breathed life into that record. You know what I mean?
Shit was fire.
She breathed life into it.
Yeah.
And it's funny because people come, man, she killed you on that record. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, nigga, I wrote that shit, man. but she did. And that was the game plan because I didn't want to be a rapper. I didn't want to be no artist. You know what I mean? I rap because that's in my blood, but I'm trying to make the shit pop, you know what I mean,
right.
by any means. And then next thing you know, the record started taking off. And my man Jay Starr from New Jersey, he called me screaming one day, like, nigga, Funk Master Flex dropping bombs on your record. And I'm like, man, fuck Funk Master Flex. That's what I was thinking. Because I'm still got death row ties. I'm thinking like this nigga was on the radio and had our trailer shot up when we was in New York with the dog pound shoot. Man, I'm carrying baggage, you know what I mean?
I feel you on that one, though.
Flex and all that shit, man. And you know, another quick thing for the New York DJs, I got a lot of love and respect for them niggas. And I never told nobody this story. And this is an intellectually petty radio exclusive right here. But this is the funniest shit ever, right? When after Pac passed, and there was a lot of bootlegs going around with the Machiavelli and all the, you know, all those tapes was everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one I heard, it was a Clue tape, DJ Clue, right? I don't know who did it, but somebody had made a Clue tape, and at the end of the Clue tape, there was a whole bunch of unreleased Tupac records. So I was mad. You feel me? I'm still Suge in prison, so I called Death Row office. I called Roy Testray. I called the nigga Roy. I said, man, get that nigga Clue on the phone. He called Clue. Hold up. He called DJ Clue up, right? And I'm checking the shit out of him on the phone. I'm like, nigga, when I see you, nigga, it's up. I'm gonna fuck you up on sight. And nigga, you got this Tupac shit on this record, on your mixtape all over the nigga. You bootleg, nigga, I'll fuck you up and I'll kill you, nigga. And he like, whoa. It was to me, he was spineless. He was like, nigga, oh, come on, brother. We can talk about this. And it ain't about all that. I said, nigga, yes, it is, nigga, it's on sight. And he didn't want no smoke. And he said, I don't even like Tupac. That wasn't me. I said, you don't like Tupac? I'm gonna really fuck you up, nigga. That shit was so funny. Like, Roy, get that nigga off the goddamn phone, nigga. Click. If Clue see me, I'm gonna physically just walk up and apologize. Because I had that nigga in the fist grease. It wasn't even him, it was somebody else, man. But it was funny as shit. Anyway, back to the story. So we get to so now FUBU get wind of the shit, and the shit ended up taking off. You know what I mean? And it was just crazy, but and I always reference my man Suge because that's my dude. We talk still twice a week. We got some shit working too. But it was funny because my record was like #1 in Detroit, #1 in Cleveland. It was #1 in a few places. And I was tripping because my phone hadn't rung. I said, nigga, how come ain't no record labels calling me? Shit weird. I had the #1 record. Every time I turn on the radio, they playing my shit. Somebody need to be calling me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And Suge and Prince, he was in Mule Creek. I wrote him. And I said, nigga, call me. And he reached out, called me. What's wrong? I said, man, look, man, I got this record. And ain't nobody, my phone ain't ringing, nigga. Everybody, I'm #1 in a couple of different markets. And he said, call the office and talk to Roy. Roy Testray, salute Roy. So I called Roy. He's the manager of Death Row. I called him. And he said, you got BDS on your record? You know what BDS is, right?
They count the spins?
Yeah, but it's some computer shit. It was early in the game. It's called Broadcast Data Systems. He was like, you got BDS on your record? I said, man, I don't even know what that shit is. He said, man, he sent me the papers, filled that shit out, and less than a week later, every record label in America was waking me up in the morning. And next thing you know, FUBU came to town, heard the record, and that shit was the sky's the limit. Next thing you know, I'm on tour, got my bus, all this crazy shit going on, man. It was just an unbelievable ride, you know? Unbelievable ride. My bad, brother. Next question, my man.
I just got one question, though. You think FUBU was the right move?
Do I think it was?
Yeah, looking back.
In hindsight, it had to be.
Okay.
It had to be because um, there was a situation that happened, um, and I'm not trying to throw nobody under the bus because my baby didn't know, but Lola, what it was um, when when Universal flew me to New York to negotiate the song, I'm thinking, well, shit, y'all just gave Baby 37 million of the cash money. I want some M's, nigga. You know, and you want to be? I ain't trying to be no artist. I want to be Jermaine Dupri. I want to be the nigga behind the scenes. You feel me? And I had to, in my mindset, Lola was gonna be my artist, and I was gonna be the writer, and I was just gonna be the nigga behind the scenes making it pop.
Right.
So when I got out there and I'm negotiating the deal, they was like, "Well, what about old girl?" And I said, "Well, shit, she been with me for a couple of years, man. It's my people's, man. We woo. They're like, "Do you have paperwork on her?" And I'm like, "Nah, but stand by." So I got on the phone and called. I called Lola. I said, "Baby, I told you I would never betray you in this game. I got you, and this, that, and the other. And look, all we gotta do is just put up some kind of paperwork, and we got some millions on the floor. We can go get it. You feel me?"
Yeah.
And she was like, she was young, kind of green. It was a whirlwind landslide for her
Right.
to experience. You know what I mean? So she was like, "I'm confused," and I said, "Confused about what?" She said, "This is just so overwhelming and it happened so fast. I don't really know." And I said, "I tell you what, I'm gonna hop on a plane, swing back to Detroit." I said, "We can draw up an agreement together. Me and you can draw this shit up together. Long as we get some paperwork to lock this thing in, and we gonna get these millions of dollars." And she was okay. So by the time I jumped on a plane, and by the time I got off the plane, she had signed to somebody else. True
Wow.
story. She had
Damn.
signed to a hairdresser on 7 Mile. I'm gonna be honest. Bless the dead. Mr. Little, whatever his name was. I ain't had nothing
Damn.
against him, but I was like, God damn. So now the bag has been fumbled. You feel me?
Yeah.
And Universal, they like, well, we gonna have to kind of ease off, but we have one situation that you might be interested in to help you rebound from that mega hit you just took.
Mm-hmm.
FUBU have an album out where they got an album project, and Corrupt is giving them problems because he signed to another label called Entra, and the first song was called "The Good Life." It was supposed to be Corrupt, Nate Dogg, and Nas. You
Yeah.
feel me?
And it ended up
And
being LL in them, right?
no, it ended up being Corrupt. No, it ended up being Corrupt, Nate Dogg. They took Nas. They put 54 Platoon, my homies from New Orleans. That was the artist that FUBU had signed. They
Okay.
put them on the record. And when it came time for the video, Nas was like, "Who is them dudes? Y'all got to make it like they with me." They said, "Why don't you take them off and put my Bravehearts on there, and we can make it an East-West reunion. It's all love." And FUBU said, "Nope." And now they stuck. So Nas said, "Well, I can't be in that video." Now I get a call from Universal saying, "Hey, man, you want to do your video?" I said, "Yeah, my video got to be in Detroit." They say, "Nah, we got this. We got the camera crew and the models, and we got everybody in Miami, and we have no talent. Can you come?" And I said, "Is this gonna cost me any money at the end of the day?" They said, "Not a dollar. It's coming out of FUBU's budget." They said, "Call about 20 of your homeboys too, man. Free tickets to Miami." So it's Memorial Day weekend too. So we were like, "Nigga, we going to Miami shoot this video." And we went down there, shot it, and then when we shot it, I didn't like it because it looked like a FUBU commercial. Everybody wearing FUBU shit. I'm like, "Nigga, this shit too pretty." And 50
Yeah.
Niggas Deep ain't that type of record. So we had to go to New York and we shot some more of it in Queens, the grimy parts. And it worked out, man. It was just a good video, but it took my situation to another level. Before you know it, I'm on Rap City in the basement. Before you know it, I'm on tour. And, I made money. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to take your lumps through the game. And I'm not mad at Lola. I love Lola. Ain't nothing she could do wrong to me. That's my sister. That's my little sister right there. And me
You
and
just
Lola,
made a bad call.
I mean, it happens, man, but you
Yeah,
can't,
we all do.
she was young and didn't know, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I get it, you know what I mean? A lot of people, when you when you looking like something to eat, a lot of people start gathering around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when my record started to pop, people was looking. My pops set me to the side, and he said, "Man, look out that window," because I would pull up on the block, and he said, "Look out the window," and there'd be 20, 30 people just showed up all of a sudden. And he said, "You see them niggas out there? Every one of them wants something from you." He said, "Never forget that." So that's how that ended up. But it was still a mind blowing situation. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't trade it for the world. You know what I mean? And if one thing we did for the city, and one thing that we did in this game is that we put a jersey up in the rafters, because 22, 3 years later, they still playing this shit. And it's
Nigga,
people
I
that wasn't
still
even
I
born yet that
literally
know the
was playing
words
that
to my
shit last
song.
week.
So at least I did one thing right.
Nigga,
Still,
I still bumped that shit. Like,
thank you. I appreciate it, man.
legitimately.
But, what else we got, man? You know,
Yo, okay,
we
so
got a few minutes left. We gonna go to prison. I went to prison. Y'all
yes, I know. That literally was about to be my question. Like, how
Oh,
you
man.
go from that to getting caught with 20 bricks?
Man, yeah, you know, and of course you got to discuss my clemency. You feel me? Because I did get pardoned by the president of the United States. So
Salute
that's another
to him for
situation.
that.
Here we go. Like people make unwise choices, but sometimes life is about choices, and you got to make. And the choices that you make, whether they be wise or unwise, you got to stand on the outcome of it.
Yeah.
You got to stand on it. You feel me? And yeah, money gets slow, and then another thing is that my son has autism. You feel me? He's high functioning. Salute, DeAndre. He brilliant dude, man. Love him. But I was trying to advocate and trying to get money for better health care and better schooling to deal with people that's on the spectrum of autism. You feel me? And jumped out there in the mud with them bricks, slung a few of them, slung a lot of them. I
It
ain't gonna
sounded
lie.
like it, nigga. You don't. The average nigga's not getting caught with 20 of them things.
Yeah. I mean, I was upper echelon, man. I was moving and grooving in some big circles. You know what I mean? And it was all good. I can't trip. You know what I mean? It was just a choice that I made, and I jumped out there and I got busted. You feel me? I ain't gonna say how I got busted or who did what or who said what. All I know is that when the police got me, I kept my mouth shut and I stood on what I stood on. You know what I mean? And what was crazy, I ain't got a heart like Hitler, but I was facing life in the state of Alabama. You feel me? And hey, I'm trying to, even though wasn't really in my right mindset, because my 2 weeks before, about a week before I got arrested, my pops had just died, and my mom died in my arms in 2011. So I had abandonment issues, like the world, like I ain't got nothing left. It's over. You feel me? So I jumped in the mud, and when my lawyer said, "Oh man, they talking mandatory life, no parole," I'm trying to justify it. I said, "Well, I got more life behind me than in front of me any motherfucking way, man. Whatever the shit's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, nigga." My lawyer was like, "Damn." I said, "Yes, I feel." You feel me? So, he said, when you go to plead, don't plead nothing. You feel me? Because if you plead guilty or not guilty, it locks you into the state charge. Now,
Right.
so he said, just stand mute, don't say shit. So I didn't say nothing. He said, if you sit for probably about 6, 7 more months, the Fed's gonna pick this case up because it's high profile. Feds came, marshals came and took me up out of there, and now I'm in federal custody. And once the Feds pick it up, we was waiting for the state to dismiss it. And by the time they said, "Well, we want proof of your indictment," I said, "Send me an indictment." They sent it. Did they dismiss it? No. I said, "Dang." And now they want proof that I pled guilty. I pled guilty to the Fed charge, and the guidelines is 10 to life. Rolled the dice, did a blind plea. Guilty. Fuck it. I pled guilty. So now I can get anything from 10 years to life. You feel me? I did so they said, did they dismiss the state charge yet? Like, no. I said, oh, they trying to cook me. As soon as you finish the Fed charge, here come the state saying, you got some more cases, some more time to do. I said, fuck it. I'm already locked in. So now I plead guilty. I get sentenced. 10 years. 120 months. I've already been sitting for probably about 14 months. And I'm sitting, I'm like, okay, I take the 10, you know what I mean? And the judge, he threatened me, trying to get me to rap. He pointing the gavel like, you sure you don't want to? No, sir. And he said, I can give you life now. I said, I know you can't. I just hope you don't. You know what I mean? And he looked, I got to give you 120 months. So he gave it to me. Now I'm in transit. On my way to prison, I went to like 5 different spots before I landed. And by the time I got to my fourth spot, I called home. And they was like, congrats. They said, you lucky because they just dismissed your case in Alabama. So now all I had to do was lock you in for the 10 years, which really was 8 after
you already served.
So now I'm locked into that. But sure how God worked, man. That's why I always tell people. I say, man, look, God loved me. And you can't hate what God loved because the shit that I've been through, brother. So now I'm in prison trying to walk this shit down. I said, okay, 8 years. I said, can I take the drug test? Yeah, I'm a dope fiend. Don't even do no dope. Yeah, I'm a dope fiend. Can you take the drug test? Can you take the drug class? That knock a year off your back end. You feel me? They said, yeah, you can take that. So now I signed up for that. So I get ready to go to the drug class. It's called RDAP. Get ready to go to the drug class. And the dude said, it's too early in your bit to do the drug class. You might well go sit down for a few more years because if you get caught with an extra, you steal an onion out apple out the damn chow hall, you'll lose your time back. You're walking on eggshells. So I said, okay, I ain't gonna take it yet. So now I'm sitting there in prison, walking these 8 down, and here come COVID. Here come the pandemic. You feel me? And the pandemic come, I catch COVID in prison, but kick it, get better. It felt like I had the flu. I felt all right. It wasn't as bad on me. But I saw a lot of people
Fucked
left
up.
here for that. You know what I mean? A lot of people died. But I was fortunate. So now Donald Trump invokes the CARES Act. And the CARES Act says if you've done half your time with no blemishes on your jacket, you can go home and do the rest of it on home confinement. And I'm like, okay. So now I might have some action. They said you might be able to get it. Trump loses the election. So now shit, here come Biden. I'm like, oh shit. And the pandemic was probably about a year old. So and they said the CARES Act was only supposed to be for a year. So in March, it would have ended. March of 2021, it would have ended.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, damn, they said you might not make it. And I'm thinking, oh, fuck it. I'm just walk this time down. You can't, don't piss on my shoes and tell me it's raining. I ain't trying to get my hopes up to come home. Fuck it. You know what I mean? So now Biden comes in office, and they said we waiting on Biden to extend the CARES Act, to extend the pandemic. And about a week before it ended, before the CARES Act was set to expire, Biden extended it. And they called me to the office. Said, Mr. Harris, you going home. You got to go to quarantine for 21 days. So they tested me again for COVID. And now I'm sitting in a whole nother unit where everybody's getting ready to go home, which wasn't but about 20, 30 people. I thought I was in a sports bar. No police. You can't walk the compound. So now they bringing you your food. You're sitting back chilling. Police ain't going to come in there. Everything was cool. And they sent the police to my house to check to see it wasn't no, it was a good address. And they checked the address out. And next thing you know, on the 21st day, they came and picked me up in a truck and took me to the front office, took the money off my books, put it on a debit card, and drove me to the Greyhound station and left me. They said, bye, go home. They said, now go to the halfway house. You got 24 hours to get to the halfway house so they can give you an ankle monitor. I go jump on the Greyhound. First I'm downtown in West Virginia, like, damn, I can't believe I'm sitting here fucking free. So I went back to Walmart, to the dollar store, whatever it was, and bought a little cell phone. And I'm sitting, nigga, I'm about to come home. And I jump on the bus. I caught the Greyhound home. I wanted to see the world. I'm on the Greyhound looking around. And I finally get back to the city. I go to the halfway house. They put an ankle monitor on me and give me a cell phone. They give you a cell phone. And they say, keep this phone charged. And we're going to call this phone. Just make sure you where you're supposed to be at all times. And they say, now, you got a ride home? I said, yeah, 963-7000. They say, what? They say, man, you better catch you an Uber, man. That shit don't exist hardly no more. Jumped in the Uber and went home. And there I sat for about a year. and I'm sitting there at the crib. I can't leave. If I go off the porch, my tether will go off. I'm sitting at home on house arrest, stuck. And I'm like, a couple people came to see me, and I'm sitting at the crib, and my case man, she said, you should put in a request for clemency. All they can say is no. So I filled out a clemency request. Dear Mr. President, can you please blah, 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 explain my situation, explain my story to him? Mailed it off. And I sat there, and then one Friday, my phone rings a year later. Mr. Harris, congratulations, the President of the United States is going to blah, blah, blah. And I said, man, get the fuck, who playing on my phone? Hung the phone up. Hung the phone up. Dude called right back. He said, no, this is serious. He said, he haven't signed yet, but he going to sign today. They say, don't tell nobody. But you're about to be free. I'm like, what? He picked you. Yeah, you've been picked. You've been selected by Joseph R. Biden and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay. I'm phone up and screaming like, oh, it's on, it's up. So now I gotta wait. So I go back to sleep. But I start thinking to myself, I said, man, somebody playing on my phone still. I still didn't believe it. So about 3 hours later, after I wake up, I look at my caller ID, and I dial the number back. They're like, Bureau of Prisons, how may I help you? I said, oh shit, that shit was serious. He said, yeah, but he's getting ready to sign in a few minutes. Stay tuned, stand by. We'll call you soon as. I hung the phone up, and about 10 minutes later, they called me like, congratulations. And here's funny how God works, right? It was over almost 6,000 people that applied, that asked for clemency. And out of all them people, I'm the only guy in the state of Michigan that got it. Out of all them people that asked, I'm the only. He picked 31 people nationwide, and I'm the only dude in Michigan that ended up getting some action.
Yo.
My man Southwest T, BMF, he said, how'd you do it? I said, nigga, I just asked. I couldn't even tell you how the fuck I did it. God did it. You know what I mean? But it's a blessing to be home, and I got a lot of shit working. You know what I mean? Okay, where we at next, man? Because I'm just,
We at 2 o'clock. We at 2 o'clock. I know Rita was.
2 o'clock. Oh, man. So I can do my shameless plugs, what I got going.
Absolutely, nigga. And look, your ass gonna have to come back, bro.
Oh man, so much to unpack. Cause you know what?
Yes.
I got a thing we did that that's coming out Christmas with for the Hip Hop 50 with the Source magazine, and it's called the Night That Changed Hip Hop, and it's about when we was at the Source Awards when Bro got on stage and said all in the video. No, I was with him when he did that.
Nigga.
So
really?
We unpacked that, and a lot of conflict happened and a lot of friction, man. It's a lot to talk about, man. That's why an hour probably wouldn't be enough, but I appreciate you for having me. Stay tuned. I got a movie coming out called Finders Keepers. Salute Think It's a Game Entertainment. My man Big Fly down there in Atlanta. That's Wifey and Lucci and Rich Homie Quan, old label. But my man standing behind me, and he putting this shit together. I'm actually one of the writers on the Suge Knight story that's coming up, the series for that. So, and then me and Suge, we got some shit working. And plus, I got a new mixtape called the Welcome Back mixtape. The King is Back. It comes out in about a week. And it's got a big surprise, a giant shock that's going to shatter the internet on there. So we got that, and a lot of new artists. And I got a lot of shit working, man. A lot of artists. I'm going to put an album out, compilation album, so I can showcase some new artists. And I'm just happy to be home and working, man. And I'm recently about to be divorced, so I'm about to be back in the back in the food chain. So ladies, yeah. And
Get your boy up.
Pounds lighter. Look, I'm 30 pounds lighter. I'm in shape, working every day, working for the city of Detroit, man. I'm doing well, and I'm just blessed and too blessed to be stressed. And before I leave, I'm sending love, peace, and respect out to everybody that deserves it, and fuck everybody else. You hear me? Intellectually petty radio, baby. You hear me?
No doubt.
Anyway, go ahead. What else you got? In closing, man. It's 2 o'clock, nigga. I told you I was gonna talk you to death. You ain't asking 2 questions.
No.
I told you everything. You ain't having 2 questions.
I don't care, bro. Like I listen more than I talk with anybody.
As well, you should, brother.
So, you just make sure you come back, because we got some shit to still unpack. You got a lot of shit to unpack, because I need to hear about the Source Awards.
Source Awards, East-West conflict. I was in the middle of that, man. A lot of shit happened, man, and I'm a soul survivor, brother. You see my hardware back here in my studio space. I got too much room to even put plaques on the wall right now, man. I got a lot more coming. So we working, man.
And we need to talk about the niggas that walked away. Your peoples that didn't, the motherfuckers that didn't hold you down while you was locked up or going through the hard times.
Well,
We ain't even
let me
talked
say
about
this,
that.
man. That's for them to deal with, not me. You know, when I first came home, I had issues. I was mad. You know what I mean? But at the same time, um, COVID was out here, man. Life be lifing, bro. People got shit to do, and you can't hold nobody accountable. They got to hold themselves accountable. When they look themselves in the mirror, all I know is that I stood on mine. I look in the mirror. I know I didn't rattle nobody. I know I didn't. I took my time, took my lump, and kept it pushing. And for anybody that didn't come see me, because let me say this, I sat down for almost 6 years and didn't have not one visit, and I wasn't but 7 hours away from here. They knew everybody knew I was at, but not one visit, bro. Not one visit. Shit got dark for me, man. I was in a dark space, but I started writing and start preoccupying my mind because I was about to crash out and I'm ready to stab niggas and clown. And that 10 years could have turned into an elbow real quick. But for the people who didn't step up, that's for them to worry about. I still got love for everybody, man, because this thing could have went sour. It could have went way differently. You know what I mean? Instead of me sitting here talking to you, I could be a hashtag on somebody's T-shirt. So I'm just blessed and happy, and I ain't looking back, brother. You know, and I salute everybody. I accept everything, the good and the bad, because it's all a life lesson, man. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't understand that life is a precious thing, brother. And ain't nobody getting out of here alive. You know? So you just got to walk it the way you're supposed to walk it and do right by others, man. And don't worry about, I can't worry about how the next man feel and what he do. That's on them. Because I know I'm going to be all right at the end of the day. Because like I said, God loved me. You can't hate what God love. It don't add up.
Man, on that note, man, yo, it's been an honor, bro. Yeah.
Man.
And decades in the making.
Miller for putting this together. You know what I mean?
I got the best manager.
My manager, Latrell McNary. You know what I mean? So, the Almighty Coalition DJ family. My BMB family, Big Peanut. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Big Simon, Suge Knight. Shout out my man Big Fly. I think it's a game. And shout out all the real ones that kept it real. And shout out even the ones that didn't. It's all love. I'm back, baby. The king is back. Coming soon. Yeah.
No doubt, man. On that note, man, we out of here. Y'all already know, man. This is Jobs.
Salute.
This has been another episode of Intellectually
Y'all can
Petty
hit me
Radio.
at One Drunken Mass. Look, One Drunken Mass. Official One Drunken Mass on all platforms, man. DM me, man. Run my numbers up or something. Somebody
All right,
do
I got
something.
you.
Act
What's
like
up?
y'all love me for once in your miserable ass life. Hey, thanks for having me, homie.
No doubt, man. You have a good one, bro.
Salute, brother.
Salute. Yo. Look, bro. It's getting redundant. You already know I only rock with legends on this show. So today was it was absolutely no exception, man. Drunken Master, come on, man. And we didn't even scratch the surface on the story. You know, we're gonna do whatever we can to get the brother back. Truly appreciate him. And shout out to my manager. I got the best manager this side of China. Actually, in the galaxy, in the stratosphere, in the 32 galaxies and the thousands that haven't been discovered yet. Shout out to Rita. Anyway, on that note, man, this is Jobs, and I'm out of here. Peace.